And they tell me now that you can put my name in and you Google it and get me all over everywhere. That's new to me.
And so how old are you?
I'll be 106 on the 27th of this month.
So that's because my mom was born in, does that make 1918?
Oh, really?
Because my mom was, I mean, she's long gone, but it was 1918.
Oh, wow.
So that's, that is fast. So I'm talking to the cameras for a second here. Okay, Vintage Voices Dash Media, we have a celebrity. We have maybe the biggest celebrity we've had in the 2 years of doing this. So it is an honor to have Ms. Mclinton here.
Thank you.
We're here at Riderwood, and so you know the whole Rider. I told you about that. Riderwood, yeah. This is.
All right.
I kind of feel like I'm in The View. I kind of feel like that's a whole different deal. But no, Riderwood was our first IN2L project with Erickson, and like I was here like 2003 or something. 04 with Judah Rum. So there's all that. What a circle of life kind of thing. So thank you for being a part of this adventure.
Thank you.
Why don't you start a little bit? Just talk a little bit about your life. Where were you born?
I was born in Boley, Oklahoma, and if Boley was is and still is very short, an all-black town. But it was started in 103, and it was well known. I meant to bring material for that too. I'll have to get you some for that. It still is Boley, Oklahoma, but it's not as big as it was.
So was it just when did you grow up kind of in a little? Was it a little city or was it a farm?
Little city. And I meant to bring that down with a lot of stores and many things there, 7 doctors, and it got to be, and there were a lot of people around Boley my father had a cotton gin. His brother ran it for him. He was a banker and also a veterinarian. He finished college in Texas at the university.
So this is your brother or your father?
No, my father.
Your father was a veterinarian?
Yes.
Was that rare for a black man in that era?
I guess it was. I didn't think about anything.
No, because I mean, really, it's like you're a living history book of everything. I hope that this is just gonna go out.
But he finished in Wiley College in Texas, and my. Well, it's a long story about that. He had a peach orchard and he taught a year. He decided he didn't like teaching. And he had sold lumber. He cut trees and sold lumber. He had a lumber yard and sold lumber. And when he moved to Oklahoma, he took enough lumber to build our two-story house.
And that's where you grew up?
Yes, that's where I was born and grew up.
How many brothers and sisters did you have?
Let me see. I grew up with one brother. Well, it was just one of us, 2 of us, but we had 11 all together. But we never grew up together. They were all grown.
Oh, so you were much younger than they were. Okay.
Yeah, and then I had some younger brothers and sisters, and we finished Howard University, my brother and I, in 1937, and then I had 2 sisters to finish Howard in 1955. They were half.
So what did you study?
Social work.
Really?
I studied sociology at Howard, and I graduated. I have to tell this. Magna cum laude.
All right.
Oh, yeah. You knew that was coming. Yeah. You knew so, and you got your whole cheering section in the back here. So,
but anyway, there was a Howard Theater, and I've forgotten the name. I went there every Thursday to hear and laugh at her. But I did finish. I say I finished Magna cum laude because I went every Thursday by myself to see her. And the Howard Theater ran a big affair and they had matinee on Thursdays.
But like what was What was it? Describe your house. What was your house like that your father built?
Well,
I mean, how many?
our house was 2-story, and it had a porch all the way around the back, the front, so that in the morning you sat in the sun and the shade, and then in the day you just go around, and there were porches on each side, and upstairs we had a porch. You could sit up there if you were upstairs.
And that was what year? That was in the 30s.
Yes, that was in the 20s.
So was there? I mean, was there amenity? I mean, was there water and electricity?
Yes, yes.
So,
but we did not have a bathroom until I was 5, and everybody in Bowley got a bathroom then. And there was a family, very nice-looking people, and Mr. Mason was his name, and he said he wouldn't. He thought it was ugly to do things in your house in a bathroom. so he still went outside, but his family went inside to the bathroom. But everybody had a bathroom after that time. And we didn't have electricity until I was about 5 either. There, we had lamps, and we had four not bathrooms, oh goodness, heating things, fireplaces in our house, 2 downstairs and 2 upstairs.
So that's how you kept it warm with these fireplaces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, was it what is like your first memory? Because you're talking about things 5 and 6 years old. So I mean,
Yeah.
do you have like a first memory?
Well, see, my mother died when I was 2.
Wow.
Childbirth. So I guess my memory, I don't remember her. I remember my grandmother, her mother, and my aunt lived there. But I don't remember her. But I have pictures of her and pictures of.
Yeah.
But
well, you've accomplished all these things later in life. Were you a good girl? Did you get in trouble at all?
Well, well, I guess. See, my father went to college. My grandmother went to college in Lemoyne, in Tennessee, and she taught. And she went to Texas with her mother, who had tuberculosis, because in those days, this was in the 90s, she taught, and that's where she met my grandfather.
And that was what did you say, in Tennessee? Is that what you said?
No. Say she went to Texas.
Oh,
because they said it was better for people who had tuberculosis there, and she married, and they lived there. And I had my mother was the oldest of 4 children, and she went to a college in Texas.
And so you said she died at childbirth of would have been a sister.
She died in childbirth, a stillborn child.
Yeah, because I have 2 twin brothers that were born 10 years before I was born. They were born premature and they died. And it's amazing going to cemeteries in the 30s, 40s, 50s, how many infants, how many babies were. So what was like your life like as a little girl? And
there were 2 private schools in Bowley, and one was a Indian school, and one was a black school. And my 3 oldest sisters went there, and you had to stay there if you went there. And people came.
You mean you had to live there, live at the school, or when you say stay there?
Yeah, they had to stay there, and people came from different states around in Bowley, around Tennessee and Texas and whatnot, and they stayed there and finished high school
So it sounds like education was a huge part from your grandmother, your father.
This was my father, and my grandmother she was of course older than he was.
Was that rare? Was that rare at that time, or?
Well, I didn't think so.
It was just part of your family.
I just thought everybody went, you know. But I found out later they didn't. But they did and whatnot, and we had relatives that didn't go too. Some of them were bootleggers. You know,
okay, everybody wasn't educated. We had a few black sheep there. That's good. Okay, a little not perfect.
But people that came from all the states in trying to be, and the person that felt there was a train station there. There had to be a train station, and it was named after a white man named Bowley. And he felt that blacks should have towns and rule themselves. And
so Bowley was an entire black. Was
yes,
pretty much
completely black.
So what would happen if somebody white would? I mean,
you couldn't come there after dark if you were white.
Isn't it? It's like talking to a history book. This is fascinating. So
you didn't. They had the color the sunshine law. You couldn't come there.
Yeah.
But you couldn't go to white towns either after dark.
Wow. So did it feel? It's always interesting for me to talk to people who grew up through all that. Did it feel? I mean, did you feel racism, or was it just?
Well, I just thought it was a town, and see, with my grandmother and they all moved there from Texas, and I had boy cousins and two girl cousins, 5 boys, and we all went to college. They went to Atlanta and different other schools, and I finished University of North Carolina.
You went to
I finished Howard.
Okay, you went to Howard, and then did you graduate from Howard, or did you?
Yes, I graduated from Howard, but I got my master's degree, a 2-year thing from University of Pennsylvania.
What was that? Was that also social work? Or
yes, that was in social work.
Well, okay, we got to do one crowd participation thing, so I have to say this the right way. What's the name of the sorority?
No,
the sorority that you're the oldest. Is that right? Is it the oldest living member of the sorority?
No, it's not. I'm the oldest one living, but it was not the oldest sorority. The AKAs.
No, but you're the oldest living one for the.
Yeah.
What's the name of that sorority?
Delta Sigma Theta.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a big tailgate. Oh my God, I forgot again. Delta, what was it? Delta Sigma Theta?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's the beauty of editing. You can just screw it up, and it's going to look good when we set it out here. So, Vintage Voices, crowd watching. This is a big moment. We have the oldest living member of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. Mrs. Mclinton, let's hear a little loud. 100, is it 105, 106?
100. I'm 105 now. I'll be 106 this month, the 27th of this month.
It's like you get things like you for your 50th anniversary. It's this for your. Yeah. I'm not sure if they have something for 106. We'll have to come up with something special. So what? Tell us about this sorority.
My brother and I have to say it because I'm seeing this picture. We finished Howard in 39, and in 50 years later we went to the reunion there. My brother and I, the same. And I have pictures of him. In my room there. Anyway, I just had to get that in because he picked up in front of my face when he said how old we were.
So North Carolina. So what was it like I mean, you kind of think at that era of North Carolina being pretty racist. I mean, what was that like going to your master's there? Was that hard or was that?
Well, I didn't go there for my master's. I went there to teach.
Oh, you were teaching there.
I was teaching
Okay.
there. Mm-hmm.
And what era? What part of your life was that?
Well, it was. Well, first place I was supervising their students at there, and they asked me to come and teach the school.
This is in North Carolina, at North.
And the dean did, and so, but it was. He said it would be soft money. It would be soft money. They didn't have the money to say I was to be paid by the state. So I said I can't come then because I'm not coming on something and let you fire me if I don't.
What does that mean? Soft money.
Soft money went by grant money. Grant money.
Okay,
That was
right.
grant money.
Okay.
Like you grant, but when the grant runs out, you're gone.
Right. Then you're okay. Got it.
You know, and I had a job as
Well, talk about the sorority. I'd love to hear about the sorority because is
Okay.
that
And also, Jack,
Okay.
she was the first black professor at UNC.
Yes.
Wait a second. Say it again.
The first black professor at UNC.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Vintage Voices, number 2. Ms. Mclinton is the first black professor at the University of North Carolina. Let's hear it again. Yeah, it is.
I
Yeah.
was there for 3 years completely by myself as a black person.
So what was that like?
Well, it was okay at the university because people wanted me to come and teach. They worked there. That was good. Once they got hard money, and I went there.
So you held out. You were.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
You're very loving, but you're kind of feisty too. That's
Yes,
a good.
that's right.
That's a good.
That's
You
right.
can't. You're not going to get to 105 without having a little bit of that. So did the what?
But then when I went there was one black, two black altogether. The course is 2 years, and one finished was Howard Lee. I'm skipping around now. He became the first black mayor in North Carolina. He's still there, and we talk a lot all the time now. But I have to say that he was a student. He finished a year before I went there, and there was one person black who finished there.
What years were that? What around?
1963.
Oh, see, that's right in the middle of all the civil rights and all the.
Yeah.
Were you active in civil rights and some of the protests and stuff?
I did all kind of stuff. And
talk about that. I mean, that's fascinating.
Well, I taught. I wanted to teach every course that they had, but I didn't. They asked me after I'd been there to teach black history, and I said no because I didn't want to go there saying I'm teaching black history. I wanted a black teacher. I wanted to be a teacher.
Right.
And so I didn't have a history course, institutional racism I called it, until I'd been there 7 years. And the students kept coming to me asking me to teach it, the course. But I taught other things.
So your life has been so illustrious. What of all these things you've done, what are you the most proud of?
I don't know, just everything. I guess nothing particularly. I just.
Oh man, that's like talking to a guy in Normandy. Went to Normandy, said, "Oh, I didn't. It was just normal." I mean, you're a remarkable woman, however you want to couch it. So.
But I've gotten lots of legacies and lots of stuff, and I've been at Howard. I was for 2 years. I was the head of the Howard things. But now I'm getting all mixed up.
okay.
That's the
Anyway.
beauty of editing, is that we make you look perfect. You can screw everything up, and you got your cheering section in the back, so it's all fine.
Miss Hortense, did you want to tell us a little bit about your dad?
Oh, well, Papa, well, I have to tell about Papa. Papa finished school, and he had lots of businesses and things, and one day he had a peach orchard is among the things, and he took 2 men with his peaches to ship out, and they when he went to see how they were doing, they were sitting there in the tree, and they hadn't done anything. They said they couldn't move the peaches because there was a white man in his boxcar, and the white man wouldn't let them ship anything in it. So my father took the bill of lading to the car and said, well, here's my bill of lading, and I will have it. And he said, I don't let niggas talk to me like that, and I'll jump out there on you. And Papa said, jump, but you'll never hit the ground alive.
Wow.
So
That is
he
heavy.
said, well, we're gonna come and lynch you tonight. So that night he and his brothers got there, and my father said, you can ride up and down the road all you want, but the first man that turns in my yard is a dead man. So it was after
So
that.
were you hearing all this, or is this somebody just told
this
you?
is way before I was born.
Okay, got it.
So that's when he decided, nothing happened. The man went on, he didn't turn in. He said, anyway, when he moved to Bowling, and because Bowling was this little town, and he said, what that was, but anyway, he moved, and he had 7 boxcars with furniture there, his family, his animals, everything that he owned, he put in those 7 cars and moved it. And my brother, half brother, they were grown, almost grown then, and in college. And
Do you have a picture? Don't worry, I'm just driving.
Yeah,
Do you have a picture of your father when we go back?
Yes,
I would
I do.
love your father is that's just remarkable man.
He was. And yeah, I'd love you to see, and I wanted you to see, because I have by his picture of his bank.
A picture of his what? Of his
His bank, the bank he owned.
your father?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, you're like this whole litany of groundbreaking things.
Yeah.
So what was it? Was it a bank? Was that part of it in the Oklahoma
Bank.
town?
Yeah, it was in Bowling, the First National Bank. There were 2 banks in Bowling, but one man was a pharmacist, and people kept bringing money to him to keep. And Pretty Boy Floyd, have you ever heard of him? Pretty Boy
Floyd?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, the machine guns.
No, he was a bank robber.
Yeah, man, with the machine guns, he'd have the with Bonnie and Clyde and all that stuff.
Well, anyway, they came to rob the other man, that man's bank.
I'm exploding. I'm exploding with
Yeah,
stories here.
yeah.
So go ahead. I didn't cut you off.
But anyway,
So Pretty Boy Floyd came into your...
No. Pretty Boy Floyd told this guy who was a member of, who was his main man, not to do it, but he decided to rob Bowling Bank anyway, and so they shot can't make his name, hit him, and he killed him. When he got the money, he and Mr. McCormick, who had worked for my father, shot him.
Shot Pretty Boy Floyd?
No, shot the man that was Pretty Boy Floyd's next in hand.
Wow.
And there was a book about that. There's a book about that, and I had that. Well, let me see how I'll go about that. But there's a woman at where I live. Now, she wrote a book about her family and whatnot. And so one day she was going to give me a copy of her book. And when we went to eat, she said, well, where are you from? And I said, Oklahoma, Boley, Oklahoma. She said, my husband was born there.
Wow.
So I said, so she brought him to see me. They were separated, and he lives in Durham. Anyway, she brought him to see me, and I sent for the book so he could see it. He said his grandmother was the phone operator. And
Okay.
she got all these people together to get guns, and they came with their guns and hammers and everything and killed these other men that tried to rob the bank in Bowling.
Man, that is.
Anyway, I wanted him to read the book, so but one of my relatives had it. I had let him have it.
So did you get married? Did you have kids or anything? Or
Yes, I had two daughters. One daughter lives in Bowie, and the other daughter died of an aneurysm in her 60s.
oh man,
But my daughter has.
am I going the right way? By the way,
Yep,
I'm so
yep,
twisted
keep going
around that
straight,
you
Yep.
just nudge me when I
You're
turn.
good.
What did you say?
No, I was just asking Pandora because I'm so fascinated by your story that I could
Yeah.
be in Texas for all I know.
Mhm.
So yeah, go ahead. So you said you lost one of your daughters and your other. Do you have
Yeah.
grandkids or?
Well, my husband worked for the North Carolina Mutual Life Insurance Company, which was it had 9 states, and it was the largest black insurance company in the world. They have 10-story building in North Carolina. He worked for them for 40 years. He was a controller, and he's the one that had a gorgeous voice, and all of his family have gorgeous voices, and he would go up and down the coast like black schools used to sing different places, and but after he married me, he asked me not to sing anymore because couldn't carry a tune. So,
Oh, that is. Well, you can do a lot of other things. So it.
but anyway, he was
Next life,
there
make a
were-
left.
that was a big insurance company, very big, and they had a big building, but it's not big anymore,
So yeah. So I mean, as you kind of look back on your life and
Mhm.
from a race standpoint, I mean, do you think it's
Well,
you've lived through so much?
it was there that I ran into the Ku Klux Klan, and my daughter that's another thing. I was interviewed by a person here at the Washington Post, and he had never heard of Bowling, and so I have that. And he called my daughter and asked her, and she told him about being downtown and how somebody in the club. Anyway, she said she was so scared she thought they'd all die, but I was just fussing with the Ku Klux Klan man, and she never told me that. But anyway, she was real upset because she thought she and her sister were going to be killed by the Ku Klux Klan.
Wow.
They were marching in Durham, North Carolina, that day.
So did you ever go to any Dr. King speeches or rallies or any of those marches?
No, I never did. But I knew his sister right well. She taught at Spelman College in Durham, in North Carolina.
Just gotta go around and make a U-turn.
These bumpy roads, keep that squeaky thing going.
Yeah.
But as far as when you kind of look at where did I just keep going?
You here.
Oh, you were here. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Okay.
I scare people sometimes how I drive. Oh, there it is. So, I mean, do you feel good about progress in race-wise? Do you think it's still all
terrible,
messed up and what?
Terrible. And I think Trump's a terrible man.
Put this
How does
Put that out there.
how does it get better? How do you know, for someone like me, you know, like an old white guy, you know,
Yeah.
what's something?
Well, I think if you stand up for the truth and instead of being scared that Trump, you're gonna get shot by Trump. That's one of the ways. Because Trump is scared of everybody.
Left side.
Sorry.
You're good.
And let's see.
So stand up for the truth.
Yeah. Well, I would,
That's
and
right.
that no, I have things with me.
We got Ms. Mclinton here. She's giving us a tour.
Arbor Ridge.
How long you been here?
Hello, what do you say?
She lived here a long time?
How long have you lived here?
Since 1918.
Well, she's born in 1918. I think anybody born in 19 could just, you know,
No, I
the thing
came
about it.
here in 2018. I came here when I was 100.
Wow.
I came here when I was 100.
Tell them how old you are.
And I was in King's Court.
Yeah, it's been a whole history class here.
I was in King's Court. I lived there until I fell and broke my shoulder.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You were born during the World War I.
Yeah, that's right.
Take care.
Thank you. I mean, I'm fascinated by World War II. Do you have any recollections of World? Well, actually, let's finish
the.
the. I mean,
about World War II. It's terrible to tell you, but my cousin.
I'm just gonna keep driving a little bit. Is
no,
that okay?
Yeah, this is on campus. You're good.
Okay, this is on. You can feel good now. You can feel relaxed.
My cousin, and I have pictures of him. They were very handsome young men. He was in the army. My uncle, my mother's brother, was in the army in 1918. You know, when they wore wool suits.
Yeah.
I have pictures of him. Let's see. But anyway, the people in the, well, I had my boyfriend at Howard was in the army, and he kept a record for a fellow named Ming, who was a lawyer, who was keeping in the information about what happened in black. You know, they would let blacks in the army then.
Yeah.
But they didn't let them eat like they have soldiers come. They didn't let them eat in other places.
Yeah, I interviewed a guy a couple of months ago that was a black man in the in the Navy, and it was, and he talked about that. He was a super smart guy, and what he had to go through. Just to be, everyone loved him during the war. And then the war ends, and and it's all kind of forgotten.
And then when they would have prisoners, they would let them eat, but they couldn't eat in places. So I think, well, I really was impressed yesterday when I heard this guy who's going to be the running mate for Kamala.
Yeah, right. The guy from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Miss Mortense, how did you meet your husband?
He would come up to Durham to audit the insurance company, and I was living in the apartment above one of the heads who worked there, and I met him, and he started coming back and forth to Pennsylvania, North.
So he was chasing you.
Yeah. And I married him. I married a man, met a man and married him. And my half-sisters thought it was terrible that I met somebody in North Carolina because they might have back-to-back, and might get bitten by tobacco bugs. That was their idea of who I was married.
How long was it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Married?
We were married 57 years.
So are you an optimist about where we are in the country, or are you?
No, I don't like this place.
Wow, that's.
I tell you this, I don't like it as well as I did. Oh, I like this place. I think it's a very nice place altogether, but I like being over in King's Court.
I was talking about the society at large. Yeah, I thought you were. I don't like this place like Earth. Like, yeah. No, I mean, but it's just as far as the where the country is and are you an optimist or a pessimist? I'll drive it there a second.
I guess I'm a pessimist.
We have some.
Wait, Jack, let me get out really quick.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh God. Oh, now I get it. Okay, now I get it.
Okay.
Can we let you get out?
Well, let me get out, Jack.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it? Now it should.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Beautiful. Let her get a little head start.
You all are letting me out, and I haven't even begun telling you stuff yet.
No, I mean it is. You are fascinating.
Yes.
I mean, it really. It's just remarkable.
I did interviews over North Carolina, and I've been on the radio and the TV, and you'll have to listen to me. You can get all that stuff on.
I will totally do it. Well,
Yeah.
something's going on here.
Oh, wow.
Something's going on here.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Yay!
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
It has been an honor to drive around with. I mean, the stories that she has to tell. I didn't think we were going to get into Pretty Boy Floyd and machine gun banks and robberies. There's a little bit of everything. So So thank you so much for being a part of this.
Okay.
And you're a remarkable person. And you're one of those people that you feel better. Like you feel like a better person just by spending some time with you. But if you don't mind, I'd love to go, picture your father, and so we'll get all set up here. But we'll get you back in your room and we'll go with it. Well, it looks like you got a celebration here coming anyway.
Yeah. We just wanted to celebrate you since this is your month. Thank you.
That's pretty good. That is awesome.
I'm gonna help you get down, okay?
We went from
You feel so special.
You need your seatbelt.
Here we are with
In some ways, I feel like I'm being treated like an old lady.
No, you are just blessed. Okay, I'll take this.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Thanks. One, two.
Oh, that one.
Come all the way.
No.
Put your feet down. What do you need? Am I knocking over?
I think we go straight to that.
So I have been for several years. I've been doing this. Ms. Mclinton is the coolest person I've interviewed in 5 years of doing this. So it has been an absolute honor to meet you and see you. Let's get in your chair. So we're done.
All the way back. Now you can sit.
Hey, did it! Jack, we can take a quick picture with them.
I always feel better when we get a person right back in their chair.
We did it.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. Yeah, let me get the. Can we get something? Is it okay if we go in front of the van? Yeah, that's cool. And this is my. That's my father. In World War II. That's my dad in World War II. Yeah, yeah. Hold on. Let me